All right, chapter 1140. Not gonna lie, I'm a little upset that it seems like Oda's going to move a character away before they have a chance to interact with our crew, but what can you do? We start off with Luffy and Zoro and Nami and Road all in the castle, and they're fighting Scopper. And he's just like, hey, why would I want to fight you? Just give me the key. And he's like, what, you don't think you can take it from me? Goading Luffy on, and it's great. Luffy charges the best moment, the two best moments. Scopper infuses Haki into the key and then uses it to smash at Luffy. Graham covers him. He has to burst out. He's getting very upset, can't get the key away from him. At one point, Scopper drops the key because he had actually shoved it into Luffy's mouth and his entire face went like the shape of the key. Love that moment, objectively hilarious. But then pulls out the two axes and starts swinging them back and forth, to which Zoro more or less fear, like Luffy dodged that. And like not half the castle, but a section of the castle tower just crumbles all away, landing on the ground below as Zoro had to jump in to protect Luffy, taking some of the blast away from him, to which Scopper said, you have a good crew, or he has a good crew, something like that. Very clearly a test, which matches the flashbacks that we see with Shanks, supposedly happening just recently before Shanks left. Saying, you think I'll trust him just because you said so? No, I'll test him myself. And definitely also remind me of Kuma when he had more or less tested Luffy's crew and Zoro taken the pain from him, or absorbed all of Luffy's pain to protect his captain and was willing to sacrifice his life for him. So I like that parallel there. There was also a moment, too, where Scopper mentions, that's a nice straw hat that you have, would match you better than that helmet. And he's like, of course, it's my treasure. Shanks loaned it to me. And side note first, so tinfoil hat theory that I'm absolutely loving is going to be the idea that the One Piece, the final treasure, is a accumulation that may or may not have to involve either parallel universes or time travel, that the Straw Hat crew could have taken any route on the Grand's line, and this is the accumulation of all the treasure and knowledge that they gathered through multiple trips around the Grand line that they just don't remember, or didn't happen because parallel universes and or time travel, unclear. And like Nami would have gathered all the treasure on different routes. Chopper would have gathered all the knowledge and history of different medical treatments. Sanji probably cooking recipes, Zoro technology, Robin the history of the world, and it all accumulated at this one place. Everything that they value and treasure, etc., etc. But of course, Luffy's treasure would just be his straw hat. Leaving that behind, Joy Boy's treasure, the One Piece, that be the one element that he left behind, and Roger would just laugh seeing that he had just given this hat to Shanks and now it's back on the final island. I really like that idea. Don't remember where I first heard it, but I really, really like that idea, not gonna lie. But besides the point, Luffy starts shouting at Scopper like, don't you start judging Shanks. Why are you calling him a cheapskate? Because Shanks loaned him the hat instead of giving it to him. I find that funny, especially because he doesn't know who Scopper is, and he's saying you don't know anything about Shanks. He's known him since he was a baby, and in any other situation, if Luffy knew who he was, there would be so many questions he'd want to ask him, and I love that. But Scopper tells Road, like, don't tell them who I am. They'll figure it out eventually. If Elbaf is still safe, come to find me. And Luffy's just like, why would I ever want to see you again? Thanks for the key, old man, because eventually when Zoro and Luffy start taking it more seriously and they're about to charge, he's already done with his test, so he drops his axes and be like, I surrender, I was just goofing around. You tried to kill me. You think I'm just gonna let you laugh that off? I was like, you're still alive, aren't you? If I seriously wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. So he says, come find me if Elbaf is still safe. And I'm wondering, we had that ominous statement saying, do not linger here. So does he know what's going on, what the threat is? Does he know about the Gods Knights? Is he going to be involved in any way? Because clearly I don't think they're married, but we'll say wife and child are on this island. His friends and family must be here. He's lived here this long. Clearly, he's not going to just let them be targeted, let them be hurt. It wouldn't make sense for me for him to stay out of it. I get the idea of passing the torch to the next generation, letting them continue the fight and letting them grow and you can't do all the work for them, but clearly he's got to be able to protect his home. So I don't like, if he gets sidelined for the rest of the arc, I'm not going to like that. But I can't see that happening narratively. But anywho, they take the key because the sooner they get the key, the sooner they can go to Loki, the sooner they can go to the feast. Love Luffy. And then we cut to the school, and the school, they're like, hey, that's a bird. And adults are like, what bird? And clearly it's Gunko. And they have landed near the school with the intention of kidnapping children. And then we get like three pieces of information that I'm obsessed with right now. So she summons the summoning circle, holds out her arm, and all of a sudden there's a summoning circle in front of her. Two options. The most likely option is the summoning circle in the castle, because it's clearly still there, is a permanent fixture, because they were doing deals with the world government. They needed a way to get to Elbaf quickly, so they have a summoning circle. Most likely option. Option number 2 is someone else on the island is loyal to Eam and the world government and summoned both Shamrock and Gunko. So if that's the case, I'm looking at the doctor of the new giant pirates. I don't trust her. Was it Gerg? For whatever reason, I don't trust her. Second thing we learned is not anyone can just travel through the summoning circle. You need a specific merc, because when they kidnap the giants, they need to take them by boat. They can't just take them through the summoning circle. So the idea of, is the merc given to you by Eam? Is it something else? Most likely given you by Eam. One of the God's Knights that are summoned has a tattoo on his arm. Is that the merc? Is it a physical merc? Is it something on your soul? Is it in your blood? Unclear. And the final thing that we learned in this chapter there is they say, Shamrock, what are you doing here? Are you here to visit, was it Harold's grave? Like the former king. And I'm just like, clearly either working together. Are you paying respects to somebody who was working for you? Someone that you betrayed? Someone that was going to help you bring the giants to heal? Get Elbaf in with the world's governments? Unclear. But back to the summoning circle. So summoning circle happened, lightning striked, and 2 figures emerge. And I love this so much. One of them is got just a weird, cool design. I've seen people talk about it, some mythological creature, hybrids, chimera looking thing. But he's also wearing like the space suit, but with a filter for the mouth. And whenever they wear that, they're always the most obnoxious, terrible, evil people. Like, they don't want to breathe the same air as commoners when they're wearing that helmet. So I really want to see what this guy's personality is. I love to hate him already. I'm going to mess up his name. Kierlingham? Something like that. He's also got a trident, which I'm just imagining he stole from Fishman Island, and we're going to have a whole side story with them. Maybe he gave them the drugs that caused Horty and everyone to like rapidly age in the power and all that almost destroyed Fishman Islands in the past. I'm going with something like that. He's also got possibly just part of the regular form, but he's got the ribbon. So apparently I'm assuming an awakened form, but it's a white ribbon, not a black one, like we've seen with the other members of the world governments having in the Gorosei. I'm excited. Maybe he's not evil. Maybe he's evil. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't think he's evil, and it's all a matter of perspective of what you believe. No, because then Lucci would probably have a white one too. Unclear. But he's not the one I'm most excited for, because we have, is it Summer? Yeah, Saint Summers of the Shepherd family. Now, Shepherd is my favorite, or I'm most interested in him when it comes to the Gorosei, just because, I swear, anyone with the name Shepherd in fiction is either basically a saint or the most evil, corrupt person there is. There's like no in between, and I want to see what one he falls on. Is he going to be like the most sadistic, horrible, evil masterminds of the Gorosei, or is he going to eventually betray them and side with Luffy? So maybe it'll be Summers, maybe it'll be the actual Shepherd and the Gorosei. I want to know so bad. But why he's hilarious is because he's talking on the Den Mushi just like, yeah, just give me an hour, and we can't let the gods starve, so we'll have to figure out something about food. That revolutionary army is being such a pain to deal with. Yeah, I gotta get summoned, so just give me an hour. And he'd put on pants. Hey, Shamrock, Gunko, what are you doing in my living room? And he's been summoned into the summoning circle in his underwear. We see the tattoo on his arm, which may or may not be the mark that's needed to transport. Unclear. probably unlikely. And Gunko's just like, oh my god, he's an embarrassment. I don't want to look at him. Exasperated, turns around as he puts on his pants. He's got like a rose theme to his outfit. I'm very excited to see what this man does. But I do find it hilarious that this summoning circle can just summon you out of your living room. So unless he has a summoning circle in his living room, it's probably corresponding to the mark itself, so it can summon you from anywhere, which might be, yeah, that might be a problem in the future when we're fighting them. Small point, we have noticed Gunko before, and I don't know if it's intentionally highlighted in this panel when she's just being annoyed, but like the heterochromia, the different colored eyes, different coloring and shading to the eyes, could just be a cool character design. I don't know if it would have any connection to her devil fruit, to how she can summon a summoning circle. Don't know if it's a connection with E. Maybe that is the mark that she has. Maybe every mark is different. Don't know if it's just a cool character design. I like it. But if it has something to do with a power in the future, I will also like that. Is there a second? I really want, like, the theories with Blackbeard and separate souls. Like, I need another character to confirm, like, multiple souls in one body are real. So, just side note. So Shanks' hot brother is just like, why'd you summon both of them? I only asked for one. And they explain, you have to go back to the Holy Land to deal with something there. It's getting out of control. We presume something with the Revolutionary Army and food shortages and war. And he agrees to go back, saying if it's what the elders have determined or whatever. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I get, like, we hyped it up introducing him, but I really, really, really wanted Luffy to come in contact with him. If it's too early for a fight, fine, have them see him leave, something. I'm very, 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 very annoyed that Luffy isn't going to learn of his existence, if that's the choice that's being made. If he just leaves and they never interact, I'm going to be very annoyed. But I get Luffy's probably not ready to fight him yet. Doesn't mean I like it. So he explains the plan of kidnapping the kids, bring Elbaf to heal, bring them into the world's government. They're like, yeah, we can do that. It's gonna be a pain though. They're too big to just throw in a sack. We gotta bring them on a ship. It's gonna be a nightmare to do. It's like, with your powers, Shanks says, or not Shanks says, Shamrock says, why don't we make a game out of it? And I'm like, what kind of game? Are we talking like a game of God Valley? You're not going to slaughter every living soul on this island because you need them to work for you. So is it just whoever kills / kidnaps the most people is who's going to win? Like, what? Are you giving yourself a time frame? Is there other games that you crazy people play? I am terrified. This man is a mustache twirling villain in this moment. He doesn't have a mustache to twirl. And again, I love that line for his character. So overall, mixed feelings on this chapter. It leaves me with a lot more questions than answers, which is what I expect from One Piece at this time. But the story's going in a direction that I just want Shamrock and Luffy to meet. That's all I want, okay? Just like Luffy seeing him in the corner of his eye saying, is that Shanks chasing after him? And then he's already disappeared. I'll take that. I just need a hint of Luffy realizing something's wrong and something else is going on. That's all I want. All right, I will talk to you later.